Whoa, I really have to say, man, this Saturday is a hot day. We've gone like from last week freezing cold temperatures now to what feels like I'm in the 80s right now. It is hot. In fact, down at the bottom of the mountain, it was actually unbearably hot. I don't know why, maybe because of some of the humidity from the evaporation of the moisture, but so I'm up here hopefully get this Bobcat 331. This is a Bobcat belt. It's the proper size, but because of a frozen bolt, I can't move the alternator very much. So I went to Napa and got a couple belts. Hopefully one will just be just tight enough that I won't have to adjust it too far. So I'm gonna get to that, try to get this going, seeing about working a little bit on the garden, going to the top on the house, start cleaning up and getting ready to put some block in. But today's going to be a busy day. But since it's like the first real warm, open, dry day, it's going to be probably a lot of cleanup and maintenance. So I better get at it. I've got it together. When I brought the belts up, trying to find one that would fit in, because the original Bobcat 331 belt was a little long. Because of the frozen bolt, I couldn't push it all the way. So I tried the actually 2 sizes down and 3 sizes down, because I figured it looked really easy, like 2 inches shorter. But guess what? The one I needed was the 1 step down, not the 2 or 3. So I grabbed out the old side grinder. Where is it? Over here. So I ended up just cutting off the heads of one of the bolts on one side of the lower arm of the bolt that goes through the alternator. Just enough to loosen it so that it can just barely move to the minimum and maximum extreme. And when I did that, still the original Bobcat belt didn't work. But the one that I thought that was going to be 2 inches shorter that would work, that I couldn't fit on, actually will fit on once I were able to move it just a little bit farther in. So I've got it all bolted in. Everything's all ready here. So everything looks nice. I put some new bolts in. The original bolts for this have like a really small head. It's like this size head is like 2 millimeters bigger. Works a lot better. I can get the wrench on it easier. Was thinking of leaving this off, but you know, I'm constantly always in here. I put the safety back on. So everything's all hooked in. I got coolant all filled up. So let's see if it'll start. Okay, here. Glowy plugs. It's pretty warm. I probably almost don't need to use it. Starts right up. Up, then shut off on me. And shuts off on me. Since it's starting and stopping so much, what I'm thinking is my little solenoid, which is a bit goofy. Sometimes the solenoid wants to work, sometimes it doesn't. You know, actually, yeah, that's the issue. Oops. Got a little triangle rock I stick in there. That'll hold it open. So it should. It'll stay running now. Yeah, it's funny because that solenoid, we've tested it, and every time we go to test it, it tests fine. But then it stops working for a couple shots, and then it starts working again. So it's been like that for ever since I bought this thing. So that's been like long time. So I will now move this thing down to the garden area and see how everything's going. Well, just when I got up here, this is a good way to know that spring is here. The apricot tree is just covered in blossoms. I got it behind this mesh here, which is too small for it now. So in the next week or two, I'm gonna have to tear all that mesh out, make a little bit bigger. Reason I have the mesh there is to keep the deer and the ground squirrels from tearing all the leaves off until they can get big enough that they can take care of themselves. Now that's like the second, let's see, the third oldest tree. There's a tree right over here. It's the oldest, and then there was another one, an apricot tree, but it died when we had a massive drought and an insect invasion. So we got that, and then this one was a couple years after. I can see that it's getting ready to start budding. Actually, it's about the same height, and it's like a couple years younger than the other one over there. And then we have the newest member, and taking a look at it, I can see some little buds on that branch right there. So, and this one's a peach tree. So there's two apricots over there in the peach. They're a little close together, but I want to get this area sort of covered in greenery. So I need to bring in a few more trees. Need to be another tree right over here, but I got to clear all this stuff out. I was just in the middle of doing this, but then figure I start loading up water to the tank. I had a whole bunch of 55-gallon drums of water here since last year, and then I drained the tank out into some other of the 55-gallon drums. So I'm now pumping it back up, because the 55-gallon drums down here won't freeze, but up there that'll freeze and mess up the valves. So I'm filling that up now, and with that filled up, I'll be able to do some block, because I think I have enough mortar and concrete and block, and with that water I can put in that last little bit of block right there on the very top, so that the top roof on the third floor can be done. So still need to order another truckload of concrete. I need a whole big truckload of concrete. Might need a few more blocks, because there's going to be a wall. It looks like a little like fortress part on the block there. It's going to go all the way around, but there's going to be an opening space right there. That's for bringing materials up to the top if you need to, because you can use the roof just like you would use a patio. So all right, well, let's move the Bobcat, get it down there, but I got the ATV in the way. So many little things to do. I've been digging here in the garden area, and Bobcat's doing okay, but it's got some old fuel lines that I need to replace. I gotta just sort of patch until I can get some new fuel lines, but it's working. I got like so many rocks in the dirt and soil here. It takes a lot of work. I got to get all the rocks out. And then there's some big boulders, but a lot of the boulders are now low enough that they'll be like several feet under the topsoil, so I'm not going to worry about them. So I'm just gonna do a little bit more work here, move some of the boulders, and then I will head up and to the main complex and look at the building. So a little more work here and then up to the building. I come inside the building, the wind is like blowing stuff over, just coming through the tunnels. Have these blocks blocking this window right here, and it knocked him down. And some of the blocks broke. These thin web blocks are really not very strong. The blocks they used to make were a lot stronger, but I can't like purchase the heavier, stronger block anymore. You can, but you have to special order it, and it's a lot more expensive when you have to special order stuff than just being able to get it at your local Walmart. I mean, Home Depot. Yeah, Home Depot. Man, block is so crappy, it chips so easily. I mean, it's hardly any sort of a fall either. I mean, it's like, I can't believe there was enough wind to blow this way and to knock them all over, and it knocked all my wood down over here. Gotta get it up. Wow, I can't believe it hit so hard. It actually broke my board here. That's... I don't see. I'm just gonna go clean up a little more here. Let's go all the way up to the top floor. This stuff's been blown. Wow, it sort of vibrated and moved. Must be just because constant wind. Now I can get into that, tripping on all that. Oh, it's been a beautiful day. Been a little hot, but nice. Ooh, there's a little hole there. You can see out. All right, well, think we're gonna call that a day. It's not too late, but I'm a little bit tired and everything, getting a lot of stuff done, and I think I was up like from 8 o'clock So from like 8 till like 6 now, I mean, it's like 10 hours I've been like working on stuff. So I'm going to take a rest now, and tomorrow I'll see about doing some block. Everybody have a great night.